This is the No BS Travel Advisor podcast. I'm Marcie Muensterman, and this show is for travel advisors who want to run profitable businesses, charge what they're worth, and stop following outdated bullshit advice just because someone in the industry told them that that is the way it has always been done. Each episode brings real talk, practical strategies, and real stories from fellow travel advisors, because sometimes the best way to learn is hearing how someone else figured their shit out. So let's get to it. Hey friends, welcome back to the No BS Travel Advisor podcast. Today, I am really excited to have Rachel McDowell, owner of the Unfiltered Traveler, with me. She was a client last year in one-on-one coaching, and then we have become very close, I feel. So I'm really excited to have her. She's a retired Army veteran, mom of twin boys. Holy cow. Runs women's adventure trips, started a brand, a separate travel brand with her husband called the Unfiltered Outdoorsman, still manages to work less than 40 hours a week while being doing all the mom things. I know you volunteer for PTA and you're all over the place with them and all of their extracurriculars. And, hubby disagreements on the side, figuring things out, moving to Portugal, doing all these things, and only been a TA for 3 years.
Yeah.
So we're really glad to have Rachel here with us today. So get your coffee out, enjoy your car line with us, and let's get to it. Rach, what's going on, girl?
Hey, thank you so much for having me. This is really fun.
I'm really pumped you're here. So I just want to know, and I think so many moms probably want to know, how do you manage 12-year-old twin boys?
With a lot of patience.
A lot of patience.
A lot of patience, a lot of boys are different. Boys are different than girls. And my twins are very different from each other. From the time they were born, they just had different personalities, and they are both involved in different things. So I've got one that's going to jujitsu 5 to 6 days a week, competes competitively. We've competed internationally with him, or he's competed, not me. I just have to get him there. And then my other son is very into things like student council and swimming and theater. And so we are going different directions all the time.
Yeah. And I feel like any mom, you're just living in your car.
Yes, I do.
I'm in my car more than I'm anywhere else now.
Yes, from 4 o'clock until probably 8 o'clock. I'm just not home. I'm just Ubering.
That is awesome, though. So I know he either is competing in an international tournament or just did.
Yeah, he competed in Amsterdam for his first international competition over the summer, took gold in both divisions.
Cool. Congrats to him.
He's a little
That makes it worth the trip.
100%.
And I know you guys traveled to London and did a bunch of stuff, just the three of you.
Yeah.
That's something you enjoy doing with the boys, just you?
Yeah, I travel a lot with them just by myself. We went to London for a long weekend in April, and then we spent 3 weeks in Europe over the summer. We went to Spain, Portugal, Amsterdam, and Belgium, all on this one trip. It was really fun.
That is so much fun. And how does what does your husband do when you're not at home with the boys? What is he doing?
My husband is a worker by nature. So he has another side business. And so when we're not home, he will just work pretty much nonstop. And then, whatever it is that men do.
Yeah, whatever it is that men do. We try to avoid knowing all the deets. I'm really excited to talk to you about your business. It is a little bit more unique, and I know you've come kind of a long way from being a military Army.
Yeah.
No, it's Army National Guard. Am I saying?
Yeah.
Okay, 24 years. So thank you so much for your service.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I joined when I was a child. I joined when I was 17.
Wow.
When Bill Clinton was president. Never thought, I really honestly didn't even think about it. There had been no war in my lifetime, right? And so I joined to go to college. I joined to get in shape. And then here I am, however many years later, I ended up being full-time. I did 20 years of active duty service with the National Guard.
Wow. And I know that you did have to leave the military. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
When I retired?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So when my kids were born, I knew I wanted to get out right away. And so, but it was kind of a toss up between, well, do I get out right now and then have to start over, because you get a pension if you do 20 years, right? And so I was over halfway through my service when they were born. I was like, nope, I'm going to stick it out. And that way, we can set us up for a future. but it's great. Like, I'm home for my kids. Retiring was the very best thing. I don't miss it. I'm very grateful for my military service, but I am very happy to be out.
And how did you transition? Like, what were you doing in those transitional moments between your retirement and choosing travel?
So when I got out of the military, I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. I knew that there were two requirements. I never wanted to punch a time clock again. I was never going to
Amen.
work for the man. Never.
The
Like, I
literal
just,
man. You were literally working for the president of the
literal
United
man.
States. So you're like,
Never
I am
again.
done with this.
Nope.
I love that.
Never. Where I want, when I want, how I want is what I wanted. And then I also wanted to do something that brought me joy. And I don't just mean like to the end result joy. I mean like something that I truly enjoy doing the process of.
Absolutely.
And that's travel. When I like kicked around a couple ideas, I thought maybe I wanted to be a personal trainer. No, there's too much science in that. Not for
Right,
me.
right.
And then I was like, what do I want to do? And it was travel. And I love it so much. I'm so happy to be in this place in my life.
I am so glad that you were able to find something you really, really love. So,
Yeah.
what does a day in the life of Rachel's travel business mom life? I heard a rumor that your husband brings you a coffee every single day, as we all
Yes.
should aspire to. And I love too that like this is the standard. We're like, yay, he brings you coffee.
It's like the nicest thing,
It
right?
is the nicest. I love not having to make my own coffee. So I feel this.
Yes. Yes. Like it is. And he's like, oh, let me get up and get your coffee for you. Like, it's just the sweetest. I love
So
it so
sweet.
much. So
That
I
is
get
so
up
sweet.
usually like 6 in the morning or so. He'll bring me a cup of coffee. I will usually drink my whole cup of coffee in bed before I even get up for the
Good
day.
for you, as you
Yep.
should.
Yep. And I just like, I don't know, sometimes I scroll, whatever. And then I get up. I try to work out before my kids are out the door, but oftentimes it's getting everyone up and out the door, breakfast, lunch, all the things. And then I'll work out after they leave, shower, and then head to the office. I'm usually in the office between 9 and 10 o'clock in the morning. And then I work until 3 or so. And then I do all my afternoon things, picking up the kids, driving them to all their sports. I try not to work on Fridays. Actually, Friday mornings, I volunteer at the local food pantry.
For you.
Yeah.
You are a
So
busy girl. You've got a lot going on.
I do. I am, but I enjoy it. It's all things that I like make me happy. There's very few things anymore that I do that like, oh, I don't want to do that.
That is awesome. I'm really happy for that. And I know before we were just chit-chatting about the fact that you were a recruiter for the Army National Guard. So that is very much a sales position in the Army, correct? Am I
Yep.
understanding that?
Yeah.
So it's like you've done sales, but it's very different than travel. So like, how is it different and how do you spend those days and structure your days now that you're out of the military?
Yeah. So in regards to sales, it is very different because when you're selling the military, so I've had a lot of sales training and experience. I was a recruiter for a number of years, and then I was a leader of recruiters and so on and so forth. And so I've taken lots of training, read lots of books, led lots of like sales discussions, but it is different because when you're selling the Guard, you're selling a lifestyle.
Okay.
And that's very different than selling a trip, right? And so
Right.
also the clientele is very different, right? You're working with
Obviously.
17-year-old, 18-year-old kids
Yeah.
and parents
Yes.
versus, my clients now are mostly 40-year-old women.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So it's very different. It's hard because like in the Guard, there's one product. It's the National Guard and that's all you're selling. There may be different things within the
And you
Guard.
know that like inside and out, obviously, because you've been doing it your
Yes.
whole life. Yes.
Yes, exactly. Like top to bottom, you could ask me any question. I could probably answer all of it right off the top of my head. Whereas in the travel industry, there's 8 million products and not just
Correct.
there's obviously so many countries and cities and then trains and planes and it's overwhelming to sell everything in the travel industry because you can't possibly know everything.
Correct.
I also think that because I knew everything in the military, I also came to travel and was like, oh my God, why am I not getting this? And it took me a minute to go, you're not getting it because there's hundreds of products. Of course you can't possibly remember that.
Right. So how are you navigating all of the different options that you have to sell, especially being 3 years in. I think you're probably closer to knowing what you want to do now. I do think it takes some time when you're newer, like to get your footing and do all the trainings and then figure out, okay, I really did not enjoy that, but I enjoyed this. So, what
Yes.
kind of process have you been going through as far as trainings and those types of things to get you to where you are today?
Yeah. That's a really great question. So I don't sell as much as I used to in terms of like options. And so I've
Okay.
really narrowed down what countries I'll sell.
Hmm.
Um, I'm very particular. I will only like sell countries that I'm very familiar with or that I'm really interested in learning about. Otherwise, I'll pass it along. I also have narrowed down, I don't do cruises anymore, very few, if any. And I don't do Disney anymore because there's too much to keep up with.
I have no Disney people on the pod this season, and I'm so bummed about it because every single person that's been on this season has been like, I do not do Disney. If you're a traveler listening to this, trust me, there are plenty of us that do.
Yes, yes,
But it's like
yes.
a whole thing about like you either want to do it and you're like obsessed with it, or I feel like you weed yourself out of it. Like there's just so
It's
much
just,
going on.
I'm not doing a service to the client because I'm not staying on top of all of the like millions of changes that happen all the time. I can't. And I'm not interested in doing that. Same with cruises. Actually, what made me decide that I no longer wanted to do cruises was because I went on one last October and I was like, oh, I'm really missing a lot of information. I didn't know
Hmm.
all of these things.
Same girl, same. I
Right.
went on a cruise over the summer and I was like, there is so much to know and
Yes.
understand about these ships.
I think we were on the same cruise, the Utopia, right?
Yes, yes. I
Yeah,
went
yeah,
on the
yeah, yeah,
Utopia too. But did
yeah.
you like love the Utopia?
I
Correct. Same
yeah,
response. Nobody can see our face, but we're both like, it was fine.
there were I mean, it was fun. My kids loved it. My kids, they keep
Same. My
begging
gosh.
to
The
go back on a
teenagers,
cruise.
perfect. It was
Yes.
perfect cruise for the tween teens for sure.
Yes. Yeah. So anyway, and then in trainings, like, so I've done some, like I did a New Zealand training and I thought maybe I really wanted to go sell that. And then I was like, you know what? I don't know that that's actually for me. I would probably pass that along.
I like that you also like do the training and kind of decide. It's like we're not saying like don't explore, but the more you are getting into this, you will have these opportunities to scale.
Yeah.
And I believe that what you're doing with finding those things and being an expert, a specialist in just a smaller amount of things will pay off in the long run because you will become that go-to.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Like, this is what I do. And that just gives so much confidence with your knowledge. And then you become somebody that knows it inside and out, just like you did the military.
Yeah. And that feels good, right? I walk away feeling good. My clients feel better about it. And then I've also kind of found that I really love doing these women's group trips.
Absolutely. I can totally tell because I know you're planning another one next year. So let's
Hmm.
talk a little bit about Machu Picchu
Yeah.
because we kind of did this together. I'm gonna give like a little bit of credit to myself because we were in one-to-one coaching. So tell me how you came to have that idea and then the process that you went through to get it sold out.
Yeah. So, and you should give yourself credit because you're a huge help
Right?
to get me there, like to get to
It
the
was
finish line.
the inspiration for Lead the Manifest too.
Yeah.
Like, it really was, like, training you and how to sell out your group was what led to, like, this huge desire to write that course.
I love that. I love that. I mean, we had so much fun doing it,
Oh my
right?
god,
Like,
it was
'cause
a blast doing it
yeah.
together. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
So I really like adventure trips. I've been to Antarctica. I love whitewater rafting. I love hiking. I love being in nature. And I love doing these things that like other people don't.
Don't do. Like me, I would never do any of those things. You
Right.
couldn't pay me to go to Antarctica.
Gosh, girl,
I'm sure it's amazing. I'm sure I will just live
it's
vicariously.
okay. But I think there's a group of women out there who also want to do those things and don't know how, or they're afraid to because
Or
they
they
don't
don't have
know
friends.
anyone.
Yeah, they don't
Right.
have anybody to take with them. Even their husbands won't go or their
Right.
partners. Like,
Or
Eric would be like, "Are you crazy?"
yes, right, right? They'd be like, which is funny because honestly, like when I put this Peru trip together, my husband had never once mentioned going to Machu Picchu or Peru, right? But
Mhm.
he comes back and he's like, Well, how come it's not a couples trip? I really want to go. You literally have never mentioned Peru ever. And now that I'm putting together this
And
badass
how long
trip, you're
have you
like,
been married?
so we've been married 18 years in
So he
next
should
month.
have mentioned it. He should have mentioned it at some point.
Yes, yes, we've been married a very long time.
Yeah. Oh, that's so
Uh,
funny. So I know, I remember, I'm just going to tell you like the moment you told me you were going to do this, we didn't know each other very well. And
yeah.
I was like, I very rarely am like, no, that's not a good idea. But in my mind, quietly, I was like, there is no fucking way. Like, how is she going to find 14 women to go on this trip?
You were?
Yes, because in my limited like scarcity mindset, because sometimes I go there, well, I always call it reality, but I also know that it's scarcity because Miranda coaches me on this. I was just very nervous for you. How does she know this many people? I know she's in the army. I know this, I know that. But like in my mind, I personally don't know, maybe a handful, very small handful of women who would even consider it. And I remember just thinking, like, I really hope she has the network for this. Just in my own mind, privately.
That's so funny because like that is not what conveyed. Like you were a total hype girl
No,
and you're like, you've got this,
because
make it so.
I would never, especially in a coaching situation, squash this desire and passion because I know if you have that, it will be successful. Even if it had been 4 people, I think we did talk about that. It's like,
Yeah.
get these women on and then you will attract more of them. So it's just a mindset shift for me even during that time when I was like, if she really believes she can do this, like, let's fucking go. Cause
I was
that's,
so scared.
I know. So I couldn't be more scared too. I could be like, I'm terrified for you, Rachel.
Yeah. Oh my God.
No. I mean, I am an encourager. I believe that every idea, if it is rooted in your mind, it can come true. Like, I
Yeah.
believe it's already happened. So I had to really dig deep for that just for coaching purposes. But also, I was like, if she has this idea, it's going to work. It's just a matter of like, taking those steps. And once you started getting people into the group, I was like, oh, this is happening. This is like the ball has rolled down the hill. She does
Yeah.
have this network. I think I just don't always know everything about your businesses. And I think we dove into that within the first like few weeks of working
Yeah.
together.
Yeah. It was like one of our first goals. Like, cause I had been having this idea for months
Mm-hmm.
about like, I really wanted to create this inspiring trip.
I
And
remember.
for me, right? Like it's
Yes.
inspiring to me. And if other people are inspired, great. But like, but I didn't know how. I didn't know how to like get it from point A to point B. And
Right.
then obviously to Z. And so like we talked about it and you're like, okay, here's where we start. Like,
Yeah.
you lined it all out for me and I did all the research and I put it together in spreadsheets and documents and
I
budget.
mean, the A to B to Z is where I thrive. I'm like, I
Yeah.
can get you there. I just didn't know for sure if the network was there. But as we found out very quickly, there are women who are like totally down. Just, it was awesome. It was so awesome to watch.
It was, yeah, we sold out that group trip, I think in 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And
So
I had a
cool.
wait list 10 deep. Like,
Wow. I don't think I knew about the wait list.
yeah. So
That is amazing. That is
we
amazing.
we started with 14 slots and then ended up adding 2 more because I could go up to 16
Mm-hmm.
and then still had a wait list at the end.
Incredible. That is
Yeah,
fantastic. And I know you planned it through G Adventures. Is that right?
that's right. Mhm.
Did you enjoy working with them?
Yes. So there were some things that I didn't know to ask.
Mm-hmm.
Specifically with Machu Picchu, honestly, because Machu Picchu is so highly regulated by
Mm-hmm.
the Peruvian government. Once the permits are purchased, so I had to have someone dropped out; they couldn't come, and
Mm-hmm.
I actually couldn't fill from the wait list because there were no more permits left.
Yes, we did
Um,
talk about this. It's just those hiccups and things like that. So how did you navigate that hiccup even though you couldn't fill the spot?
Basically, I just let everyone know. I let everyone on my like group that was going know, FYI, we're down one person. This is
Mm-hmm.
why. Unfortunately, like permits are sold out. There's nothing I can do about it. I sent the email to the wait list and said, hey, but if you want to do a trip on your own, let me know. Like, I'm happy to do it. I'm actually considering doing Peru again
Well,
and
I was just
getting,
gonna ask because you had this huge wait list.
yeah.
That's so cool.
I'm waiting. I leave tomorrow for Peru. And so I'm waiting until I take the
How
trip to
did I
decide.
not know you were leaving tomorrow when we scheduled this? Why did you not tell me when I was like sending you 4 dates to choose from?
It's fine. Because I can make it
I'm
work.
good.
I'm good. It's
So
fine.
wait, hold on, pause. So how long are you going to be in Peru?
So I leave tomorrow and I come back to 10 days.
Okay. And are you taking your husband this time?
No,
Okay. No. This is the
no.
trip?
This is the trip.
This is the trip. How am I
Yeah.
so out of it? I really thought it was in September.
No, this is the trip.
This is so exciting. Please share like the itinerary. I want to know everything now. Like I remember looking at it 7, 8 months ago, but now here we are.
So this is the trip into September of next year. And
Okay.
I leave, I'm going a day early. And
Good.
then, so I'm going to get into Cusco on Thursday. And then I booked myself the city tour. So my group comes in on Friday. They're going to meet at the hotel. I have all the transportation arranged for them. And then they're going to go on a city tour. I'm going to stay so that I can make sure that their rooms are prepared. And I'm going to drop cute little gifts in their room for them that I'm going to get like locally sourced on Thursday when I'm there.
So fun.
Yeah, I'm really excited about that. And then, so while they're doing all of that, then they'll come back and we'll do our G Adventures meeting. We have a group dinner planned. And then the next morning we move on to another city, all in Thai Tambo. So cool. And then one of my favorite things about G Adventures actually is that they give back to the community that you travel in. And that's really important to me. Like I really want to work with companies that are sustainable and like give back and because obviously over tourism is a thing.
It is.
And then we start hiking the following day and we camp for 3 nights.
The camping freaks me out. Like, how serious is the camping?
So I'm a little nervous. This is the part that I'm most nervous about. Like, I'm 43 years old. I haven't slept on the ground in I don't know how long. And yes, I may have been in the army, but I was in recruiting.
She's like, I was in the soft beds, y'all.
Yes. Yes.
We were not in the bunkers.
Okay. No, we were staying in hotels, ma'am.
Yes.
But it's fine. We have they set up the tents for us. They have a Sherpa that packs most of our gear for us, like from place to place. It's going to be really amazing.
It is going to be so memorable. I just cannot believe that I did not know coming into this podcast, you guys, that this was even a conversation we're going to have because I thought it was last month and I was prepared about it for last month. But obviously she cannot answer those for us. So we'll have to have her back next season. I'm really excited for you. And so you have 15 women coming.
Including me.
Including you. And where are they all from? Did they know each other? Like, how did you attract them? What kinds of things did you do or say to get them onto this trip? Because it is a totally adventure spirit. I mean, they do have to have hiking up a mountain and the camping thing and eating weird food and all the things. So how do you attract a 10 deep wait list on such a big, different kind of trip?
So a few of them are very close friends of mine.
Mm-hmm.
And then everyone knows me through one person or another. So
oh, I love that.
Like there's someone who's going that I worked with her husband in the military. We've met, but I don't know her very well.
Mm-hmm.
Another works with my husband works with her husband.
Okay.
So we're friends, but that's the connection. And then friends of friends, basically, is how and then one woman, we were on the PTA together and she's now a good friend also. So
awesome. So just all the nooks and crannies of your life.
Yeah. And I basically kind of started hey, I've been thinking about doing this Machu Picchu trip.
Mm-hmm.
Before it was even just little tidbits of oh, I've been thinking about this. Engaging interest and putting it out there. Oh yeah, okay, I'll let you know when it's ready.
Right.
And then really targeting those people, coming back around and saying, hey, I finally have it together. Here's the information. It was easy because it didn't feel salesy. And it wasn't. It was literally just hey, I only invited people that I wanted to go on the trip with me.
Very cool.
And so I was and so it wasn't salesy. It didn't feel gross. It felt really good to be oh my gosh, please come. Here's the itinerary. And what's really cool is one woman didn't even have a passport before this trip.
Okay, wow. This is going to be her first international trip. Oh my
She
gosh.
she had been to Mexico before you needed
Right.
a passport, but yeah, this is her first real international trip.
Wow.
Uh,
That's so
a-
cool.
Another woman hasn't done anything for herself. Kids just went off to college, and now she's like, "No, I'm gonna go." I have someone's mom coming with.
Wow, that is going to be
Yeah,
so neat. Oh my gosh. I'm really excited to hear how it all goes because this is just so interesting. And I love that you almost handpicked your group,
yeah,
started with the closest people to you. And I think that's something you guys have to really take into consideration if you are trying to do group trips. How are you going to approach all of it from start to finish and what kind of trip it is? So I know we talked about the conversation that you were going to have about the complexity of the trip and that it was not 5-star hotels. There would be a situation with a tent. So they knew, right? There's so many disclaimers. I know we went
yes,
long and hard on your terms and conditions.
yes.
Yes. And everybody got insurance.
It was a requirement.
Okay.
So this is one thing. So G Adventures requires it that you have a
Okay.
minimum of $200,000 of repatriation and what is it? Emergency medical.
Yes.
Um, but I encouraged strongly that they all get regular trip protection also, not just the medical portion.
Okay. Good.
I even had to tell them in the fine print, hey, by the way, it's not uncommon to not have hot water or electricity while in Cusco.
Wow. Yeah. And you still had a 10-person wait list.
Uh-huh.
That is
Uh-huh.
crazy. I love this so much. I love the adventurous spirit of women in general. I am not sold, still not interested, but I'm very glad that you are so well connected to so many women who have such an adventurous experience. I think, which I talked to Megan about this a couple of weeks ago. She took a group to Montana and her story is amazing as well. Again, another super adventurous group of women, 11-mile hike, all the stuff they did. And I was just sitting there I feel like I need to change from the inside out to be one of these women. It's just not my thing, but there's obviously a market for it. And I do still think, even though I had 2 of you on this season, that it's such a small niche, but there are enough women who are interested. So I'm super excited for you and this trip and cannot wait to hear more about it after you get back.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh my gosh. All right, let's get back a little bit to the everyday travel advisor stuff. I know that you used to, when you first started, made a lot of mistakes that a lot of new TAs make. Mostly just that quote everything, answer instantly, be available all the time, 24/7. What made you make a shift away from those bad habits?
So part of getting out of the military, I traveled a lot with the military. I was
Mhm.
gone a lot. There was a period of my life where I was working 3 hours away and my family was still at home. And those days were really hard.
Wow.
And when I got out of the military, the whole purpose was so that I could spend time with my family and I could
Mhm.
be there for my kids. They were 11 and my kids would say, Mom, you should go back to the military because you're working more now than you were then.
Oh,
And
no.
it was a total gut check for me. I'm also by nature very driven. I want to be the best.
Mhm.
Recruiting is very much I have boxes of trophies from being the best in recruiting.
Because
Top
you're like a
team.
baddie. You're if I'm going to do this, I'm going to be all in.
Yes. But
Yeah.
now I see what a waste that is. Not to say that what I did was a waste, but the amount of time and energy and effort for what? For a box of trophies? I don't care about
Right.
that shit.
Right.
I'm literally throwing them away right now.
I'm going to interrupt you. I just threw away. My husband actually found them and he was like, what the hell is this? And it was awards and trophies I had won in the first 8 years of my travel career. Because I won so many big all-inclusive brand awards. I won all the major awards at the agency I was at. I wanted to be number one. And I have and they're just in the boxes that they came in. I've never even taken them out. And
Yes.
he's like, why? And I was like, maybe one day the kids will have some more respect for me. I was they're stacked up. And he's like, no, they need to go in the dumpster.
Yes. Yes,
We have
right?
that little bit of winning vibe in common.
And it's easy. It's easy to get wrapped up in it, especially when
It
like
is.
that's your natural personality. But when my kids said that, I was like, whoa, I need to gut check here and I need to think about like, what is my goal? Is my goal to
Mm.
be the best for people that don't necessarily appreciate me? And I say that with like,
Well, just not the people inside your house. Like,
exactly.
these people don't matter. I mean, it's wonderful to be able to accomplish what you did in the military, but at the end of the day, like, it's like what they say, like, who's going to be by your graveside? It's just, you have to be there for the people. And the kids saying something like that, I just got like I would have
I,
felt so, and I know my kids were old enough to tell me that I worked too much. Thank God
yeah, it
when
was
I was a workaholic. So,
was bad. I felt like first I thought, no, I'm just working at home. So they
right.
see me working more versus like, out of sight,
Mhm.
out of mind when I would go to the office. But then I was like, they're like, you're always on a call. You're always texting at
Mm.
dinner. And I'm like, shit, you're right. Like, nope. And so I started like I started listening to Marcie and I started like taking appointments only. And if you can't make an appointment, then I can't work with you. And I got a lot of pushback
I
at
was
my
gonna
original
say, what did that
agency.
look like? Yeah. Oh, through your agency. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Not
It's an
not
old
clients.
it's because that old school mentality, especially if they've been around a long time, I feel like it's just something that they can't change, that it's not even like a bad thing, it's just they can't see it from the new perspective of like trying it this way and
Right.
just seeing what happens. Like, what's the worst that can happen? Just
A
trying something new.
and to me, I was like, even if I lose clients, it's okay. Because
Yeah.
again, my kids and my family are the most important.
Right.
And so that was really what shifted me to like, I need to work less mentality.
Mhm, mhm. And I know that when you started this process, it was not easy. Like, that shift, you really had to we talked a lot about it. So, what kinds of things did you do every day that kind of just got you to a place where you were feeling more comfortable? Okay, y'all, let's pause for a quick break. I need you to know you have never been trained in sales. Yeah, you might know how to use your CRM and book a preferred vendor or post on Instagram, but none of that teaches you how to close the damn sale. And if you're tired of hearing that travel sells itself while you watch prospects take your hard work and book elsewhere, it's time to fucking change that. I am introducing you to the Propose to Close sales course, a no BS step-by-step program designed to help travel advisors like you weed out tire kickers, stop quoting in the DMs, and finally close sales without feeling pushy or salesy. This intensive 10-hour, 9-module course will teach you how to qualify prospects, send one fabulous proposal instead of 5, 10, 15, build real connections very quickly, and close the sale in under a week. Whether you're brand new or a veteran stuck in burnout, this course will give you the skills and confidence to transform your travel business and your fucking life. So, if you're ready to stop spinning those wheels and start running a business that works for you, head to my website to grab the Propose to Close sales course. And don't forget to check out the show notes for an exclusive coupon code. Okay, now back to the pod.
So I was really nervous about like turning clients away, especially when I
Mhm.
talked about like different, like what I would sell and what I wouldn't. I was like terrified that I'm like, oh my God, but what if nobody else ever comes to book with, what if that was my only option? And
Right.
we talked a lot about like, okay, so what? What will happen? What will happen if they don't come back? Right.
Mhm.
And it's like, okay, someone else will come in their place and it'll be the right people. And then we just make a different plan. And it was a lot of like mental shift of like, okay, whatever it will be. And I'll work to like market to the people that I really want to market to and
Exactly.
have the voice for it's like the people that want to be in my orbit will be. They'll hear it. We will connect and that's okay.
I love that. I love that so much because it really is a mindset shift more than it's even an actual physical shift. I mean, all you really had to do was send a calendar link now. That physical shift was simple, but
Yeah.
it's the mental shift of what's going to happen if they don't make an appointment. It's like, well, then you didn't work for free and you didn't even actually have to talk to this person. They don't make an appointment. So we're just automatically reducing how much effort you're putting into somebody that you don't know for sure is even going to be a client at that point.
Yeah. It took some work too to like text, like people will text at, all hours. And it took a moment for me to like really work on some boundaries and be like, hey, I see your message. I'm not in the office. I'll get back to you whatever day, tomorrow or the next day or whatever was like the answer. And so that was just really some like practice on my part. But like once you do it, it feels fine. It feels like just takes practice.
I love that. So how long, I guess, did it take for you to decide you were making that change and then implement those changes? And when did you really start to see results?
So I'm very much, once I make a decision, to me, like the very worst part of anything is ambiguity. And once I decide that like this is the way that I want to move forward, that's it. Right? Like a decision made, now we are going that direction.
Right.
So I would say like it took a while to decide. And then once I decided, then it was like implementing it, put all the systems in place. And then I said, okay, yes, this is what I'm doing. I would say results almost immediately, right?
Nice.
Because I felt good and comfortable with saying, hey, I see your text. I'm not in the office. I'll get back to you tomorrow. Okay, no problem. Right? Like people don't care. People understand. They just don't want to be ignored.
People do understand. And this is something we talk about all the time in Maximize. I talked about it on Megan's podcast as well. It's like people reach out to us when they're thinking about it. And if you are catering to a woman, like a busy lifestyle woman like us, I catch myself texting my hairstylist at random hours of the day, but I know she's just going to get back to me when she can. Like, it's just because I don't want to forget. And so it's like giving that benefit of the doubt that they're not texting to annoy you or interrupt your dinner. They're just thinking about it right now and they haven't thought about it in 2 days and they don't want to forget about it for 2 more days, right?
Yes.
Just giving them that opportunity to then either make the appointment or just wait and I'll get back to you tomorrow. Most people are totally okay with that.
Yep. Agreed. And then like also sending my calendar invite out to people. Like I have clients right now. They were like, oh, I don't want to bother you before Peru. And I'm like, oh no, here's the calendar invite. Get on my schedule so that we can plan because they're busy people too, and I'm going to get on the calendar. That way it's set and checking back in with them beforehand.
Yes. I actually have an example of something similar. Like I actually never answer my phone during the day. And I don't know why I answered my phone last week on Thursday, but I did. And I ended up talking to a woman who got my name from someone else. She just called it a random time. I picked up. We ended up having a 45-minute consultation right then and there. I've not done this in years. Like broke all my own rules, but I just got a vibe like right away. And then I told her I was leaving this Saturday because I'm going to Italy this Saturday.
Yeah.
And literally she has not wanted to bother me. And I'm putting that in quotes, guys. So I've been following up with her, texting her, letting her know like what I'm doing on the back end because I already started planning because I got so excited. But I did tell her like, are you okay to wait until November 8th to get your proposal? Guys, today it's October 14th. And she was like, oh my gosh, yes, I don't mind at all. And actually, I just didn't even want to bother you this week. I thought you were already gone. And I was like, I love this person. Like, I don't know how I got so lucky.
Yes, that is the best feeling.
I know. And she was a direct referral from a fantastic client who kind of like gave her a heads up of how I work. Like she works appointment only. She charges a fee. She, only does very high-end luxury Italian vacations. And that's what she wants. And we just had the best conversation. And then we've just been chit-chatting. And she's, of course, like not trying to bother me, And then it's easier than when they do text you because they're not being demanding.
Yeah. And that conversation and voice or Zoom or whatever people like, I do a lot of Zoom.
Yes, I love Zoom.
It's a connection. You feel more, you have a better relationship and like, I feel better. Like, I don't know. I want my clients to be my friends, more or less.
Same. I mean, that's how I feel about all of you guys too. Like, I'm like, the more we talk and get to know each other and share these stories, the easier it is for us to connect and not be competitive and
Mm-hmm.
also just understand like how to make these connections. Because if somebody came to me and was like, I want to go to Peru, I would be like, okay, hold the phone. I have to text Rachel or whatever. And I think too, that's just something you want to build with the relationship with your
Yeah.
client, because those connections lead to bigger networking, better networking, more specific networking. Like the fact that her friend was like, Marcie does this. You're asking for this. Go talk to her. And she had reached out to 2 other TAs who never even got back to her. She was really even struggling with the TA situation before she came my way. But because her
Wow.
friend said, nope, you just have not found the right person, and so it was a really good fit for us. But it's
That's
like,
awesome.
if you're not telling your clients too exactly what you do and how you do it, they're never going to be able to refer you with confidence.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But that takes clarity with self.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I love that so much. Okay. So I also want to ask you about this situation with your husband.
Yeah.
I know
Okay.
you guys are like building a business on the side of your side business. So tell me more about that, because I've not talked to anybody who's really in the TA world with their hubby.
Okay. So my husband and I, we've been married for 18 years almost.
Mhm.
We are planning an international move. And yeah, eventually. And so we've been thinking about like, okay, what does that look like for him? And what is he going to do when he
Mhm.
retires? And kind of in the same way, like, what did I want to do? Something that only made me happy. He loves to fish and hunt, and he wants to fish and hunt for the rest of his life. Like, that's all he wants to do ever.
I understand. That's my dad. My dad was a big game hunter and
Okay.
fisherman. And
Yep.
he even scouted and took people on trips to elk hunt in Colorado for 26 straight years
Cool.
when I was a kid. So I
Yeah.
totally understand the passion, because it's like a whole other world of travel. It's definitely not like the stuff that even the Machu Picchu trip is different
Yes.
than this.
So
So,
he's been taking groups to Africa every other year to
wow.
hunt in South Africa. I mean, the first year we went, I was actually 5 months pregnant with my twins.
Wow.
And so since then, so 13 years, he's been taking
Mm-hmm.
every other year. And finally, we were like, hey, why don't we just do that? Why isn't that what we decide to do? So
Mm-hmm.
we have launched the Unfiltered Outdoorsman. He's doing escorted hunting and fishing trips around the world. So we have actually already sold out a blue marlin fishing trip for July of 26 in Spain,
Wow.
in the Canary
Cool.
Islands. We've got a tuna, he caught a 700-pound tuna last April.
Holy shit. Oh my God.
I didn't even know they made them that big, to be
I did
honest.
not know. I had no idea. That's so cool. Oh, wow.
It's
Okay.
huge.
Yeah.
We're working on like Cabo trips. And so my husband is very sociable. Everybody
Mhm.
loves Chad. Like, he can talk to anyone. He doesn't get annoyed by people. He doesn't he just,
That must be so nice.
yeah, right.
I live in perpetual annoyance, so I'm like, how do you get there? How do I get
There's
there?
things that have been happening and I'm like, and he's just like, it's business. It's how it goes. And I'm like, okay. So we are both very type A personalities.
Mhm.
It's taken us a long time to get in this place where we're like, okay, we're both supportive of each other. We want to win.
Mhm.
And so we are a very good complement to each other. What he's good at, maybe I lack patience,
Sure.
and vice versa. The things that I'm
Yep.
really good at, he could do better. So we make a really good team. It's been really fun. It's been very frustrating at
I
times.
bet. I bet. Is that just communication of like how it's done? Because I mean, travel is like very regimented. I mean, you have to have a process, you have to have steps. Is that
Yes.
where maybe like the
Yes.
excitement sometimes takes over the actual processes?
He's a handshake kind of guy.
Oh, okay. No, we don't do that here.
We don't do
I'm
handshakes.
very, I'm like, because those terms and conditions got to be real, real, real tight. And he's
Yes.
over here like, shake my hand and you're going to pay me X amount of thousands of dollars.
Yes, that's it, right?
I love that for him.
So cute. And he's like, well, doesn't it seem like
Clever.
a bit much? And I'm like, no. So you may think that these people, like, it's fine. Well, it's all fine until it's not. And I'm
Right.
like, and some of these trips are very expensive. And so a lot of the
Yeah.
people that are going have a lot of money. I'm like, Right? Rich people don't care about their money until something goes wrong. And then, like,
Right.
that's not a fight I want to be in. Right. So I'm like, we need to make
Mhm.
sure we dot all of our I's, cross all of our T's. And it has been a little frustrating to get him on board with that process.
Yeah. I mean, hasn't he ever assigned his own terms and conditions, like with the companies that he travels with and
Yeah.
goes on? He's checking the box, right?
Yeah. It
Yeah.
doesn't mean he's read a single one of them,
Well,
though.
that's true. That's true. It's just like we live in a very litigious society,
Yes.
and you have to protect your like house from these people.
Yes.
Like that's
Yes.
this is big. Yeah.
So, but it's been really good. It's been really fun. Like, it's fun
Mhm.
to see the end result come across. I think it's going to be great. Like, we're going to add some more places
It's gonna
and
be
like,
awesome. It's gonna
yeah,
be awesome. And that's his thing. So, it's just, is it more like a partnership? Like he takes these trips. You're not necessarily going on all of them.
I'm not going on all of them. We'll see. Like, our life is going to change. And so we'll see how things change moving forward and what that looks like when we're not living in the United States anymore. But as of right now, it's just him going on these trips.
Yeah.
And that's fine. That's
Yeah,
great.
absolutely. That's his passion. And he also
Hmm.
hopefully will have a successful business. And you are moving out of the US.
Yeah, we're moving to Portugal.
That is really cool. So tell me all the things and how you chose Portugal and why are you moving and like what are all the things going on with that?
Yeah. So I have wanted to move to Europe for years.
Mhm.
Uh, I really want to live a lifestyle that's slower and
Mhm.
walkable. And I want to get away from what I think is very uniquely American in the sense that, like, bigger and better and more and
Mhm.
consumerism, because obviously these are generalizations, right? So I don't want to, like,
Right.
of course, things may look differently when we're there. But I'm allergic to gluten in the United States, but I can go to Portugal and have it no problem. And this is a
Yes.
huge thing for me.
Yes.
Like,
I have been following some Americans who have moved to Europe, and my sister's celiac, and she was able to also enjoy bread and pasta in Croatia last year. And obviously, it's a totally different thing. But I've heard amazing things for people who do move
yes,
for like just simply their digestive system.
right. Like, it's a big deal. Like, when we were
Yeah,
there in the summer, I was like, I'm going to try it. I'm going to see if it makes me sick. And it didn't. And it was wonderful. Like,
yeah.
and even the gluten-free stuff there is so much better than the gluten-free stuff here. I actually did a video in my group when we were in Spain. I
Hmm.
bought some gluten-free bread, and, like, in the US, it's like this big. You can't see, but it's just like, I don't know, however big that is, the size of a coaster, basically.
Right.
In Spain, it's double the size and it's floppy. In
So it's
Spain,
like the same texture as our like
yes,
as a
yes.
gluten-filled bread. Yes. Yes.
So anyway, so we're looking for that. We thought it was going to be Spain. We thought we were going to move to the Canary Islands, mostly so my husband can do this, like, fishing trips and that kind of stuff. But when I went over the summer, it didn't feel like what I wanted. And
Okay.
I know that sounds like very, like, but I was
No.
expecting to, like, feel a certain way about it. And then in desperation, I was like, oh my gosh, what if, do I move? Do I not move? Do I pick this? Even if, like, is it better than the US? We have a good life here, right? We have a great community and a
Sure.
great life in the US. Then on a whim, we went to Lagos, Portugal,
Mhm.
and we got there and I was like, this is it. It felt perfect. If you've never been to the Algarve,
I have
you're going to have
not.
to come visit me. I know you
I
won't
was
come to
just gonna say,
Texas.
I'm like, wait, when do I plan my trip?
Yes.
When do I visit? Yes.
Yes.
That's awesome.
I'm so excited. So
Rachel, it's
excited
gonna
to move.
be incredible. Are the boys on board? Because I'll be honest, like my kids are a little bit older than yours.
Hmm.
And I have been also wanting to leave for multiple reasons.
Hmm.
And every time I'm in Italy, I have deja vu. Like I feel like I lived another life there and that I could make it my own. And I think like, okay, would you guys ever come with me? Like, and they're just adamantly against moving. And they're both, Jude will be in high school next year. Max is already a
Yeah.
sophomore. So we're just in that final stage. And I'm like, well, when you guys go off to college, there is a very high probability that I am making this dream happen. It's
Yeah.
like just mentally prepare now that we aren't going to live in this ridiculously sized house forever. It's just so much to take care of. Like you were saying, like, it's just like stuff. And I don't know. It's just a lot. And I'm like, can I get a
Yes.
2-bedroom apartment in A small Tuscan village, please?
Yes. Like that's like, we are probably going to get like I don't know what to call it. Like in Spain, they call it a finca. I don't know what they
Mhm,
call it in Portugal, but basically, like, I want a house and then I want a couple little houses on the same property so that
mhm,
like people can come visit and they can stay for as long as they want. Like,
mhm.
and I can make one an office. I don't know. We want a little bit of space, but I also want to be able to ride my bicycle to the store and fill my basket. And that's my groceries for the day. I don't want to go to Costco. I don't want to buy a month's worth of toilet paper anymore. Like, I just want to buy my fresh tomatoes and my fresh whatever. My kids are mostly on board. I think they are excited. They're nervous,
Mhm.
obviously. They
But
just
they
started
have
middle school.
schools. They have Americanized schools. They have sports. They'll be able
Yep.
to get involved. Obviously, your son's already traveling in Europe for jujitsu. I can't pronounce that, y'all.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
Jujitsu. Yeah.
and there's all kinds of things to do. And kids are
They'll be
resilient.
fine.
They're gonna be fine. I agree. I think.
Yep.
Is your husband gonna be fine?
Yeah,
Yes.
it's taken him a long time to get there, but I think
Mhm.
he's actually looking forward to it now. So,
Awesome. Well,
yeah.
I know we're also going to want to know once you're there and settled, like how to run a business overseas, because this is definitely like the whole taxes thing. And there's just like a lot that goes into it. So we might have to
I'll,
reconnect in a future episode about that.
yes, I'll let you know because as of right now, I'm like winging it. I'm like, it'll all work itself out. I need to get our
I
visas to get
mean, I
there.
know several TAs that live in Europe, and in first season on my very first episode, I interviewed Corinne, and she's been living in Germany for 10 years
Yes.
and has a very successful travel business. And one of her clients literally got up at 4:30 in the morning to meet with her because that was the only time that Corinne could offer her, and because of the time change. And
Yeah.
I just thought during that conversation, like, they will adjust. Like, your aligned client will
Uh,
adjust. We'll figure out the tax thing. You'll get there. You'll get there.
it'll all work itself out. Like, I'm not worried. I do think I'm going to like narrow my sales scope when I move.
Okay.
So it's on my like back of my brain thought list of like obviously more Portugal. I feel like I should, if
Of
nothing
course.
else, be.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And you're going to get to know so many people in the area and be able to support their businesses and
Yeah.
just make those really good connections in the travel world that you can't always get just being on the other side of the pond, literally.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
So
That's the
that
plan.
will
I'm
be
excited.
awesome. That will be
Yeah.
awesome. I love that. That is what, to me, represents true freedom in a business and in a life. I mean, that's
Mm-hmm.
what you're
Mm-hmm.
building. And that is like legacy level lifestyle. Like, that's going to be so cool, Rachel.
Thank you. I'm excited.
Yes. All right. Well, we're kind of getting to that point in the episode where we like to tell all the agents, like, okay, you've listened to the whole thing, but like, what are 3 things that they could do right now after they get out of the car line, or when they have a break in their day, that they could like focus on without paying anything
Okay.
to get
So
their business on track?
okay. I have 3. They may not be like immediate action items, but they're things that like are free. You can do.
Mm-hmm.
So my number one thing that you can absolutely do today is set up your calendar control. If your life is not on a color-coded calendar and you are busy,
Love
you
a
are really missing
color-coded
out.
calendar. Yes. I mean, this
I
is absolutely overwhelmingly the number one piece of advice almost every single person who has come on here has said. Like, get the calendar together.
It's life changing. It like you're in control of what it is that you're doing. And I say color coding, this little like off story, but my doctor's name is Dr. Patterson and my
Mm-hmm.
kid's pediatrician is Dr. Patterson. And I just put it in there and I was like, oh, boys, you have a well child check because they just turned 12. And then I
Mm-hmm.
went to look at it and I was like, oh, it's the wrong color. That's my appointment.
That's my point. Exactly. I mean, it's just that simple.
Yep.
But also, when you have ADHD, like, being able to see the colors really does help your
Yes.
brain. It just organizes it in your brain. Like, everything yellow
Yes.
is me, everything gray is Eric, everything red is Max, everything purple is Jude. Like, clients are blue. Like, it's just so much easier to look at. And then you can I like that I can just take things off, like by clicking that color off, and then I can
Mm-hmm.
just see my stuff, or I can just see Jude's stuff. So it is and also it's fun. I
It
don't know.
is.
I get so much joy out of my calendar. Like, I also like taking things off of it. Like, I took 2 things off of it yesterday. I was like, yes.
That's funny. But it's like, it's the same thing as like checking the box. It's that same feeling if you're a list checker.
Yes.
You know?
Serotonin boost all day long
Yes.
to,
Yes.
yeah. And I don't know about you, but if it is not on there, it does not exist in the worst way.
Well, yeah, I was like, oh shit.
That's right. We had to reschedule this because you didn't have the PTA meeting on your calendar. That's hilarious. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And I didn't put it on my calendar because I was at like this event at the school and it's, 800 people and so overwhelming. And then I just forgot to put it on there.
Mm-hmm. Yep,
Okay.
it happens. I mean, it's not to say, obviously, even with control, that things aren't going to slip through the cracks. But especially when you have like flexible schedule, you can then hopefully move things around that are like not PTA is much harder to move because it's like a big group. But if it's just your stuff, so much easier to navigate.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that you should narrow down the type of vacation you want to service and really think about like what makes you happy to sell and to talk about and to research and to plan. That's the stuff that everybody should be selling. And if you get a client that requests Aruba and you've been to Aruba and you're like, you shouldn't sell Aruba. That to me, I think is like a really big game changer. If your host agency isn't meeting your needs, you should move.
I really like this one. I mean, it isn't necessarily going to be easy to do. And like you said, it's not going to be something you can walk out of here and do right now. And it might cost a little bit of money because you might have to invest something differently and getting reorganized. It's going to be a time. Transitioning agency is a lot of work and time. But I love this advice, Rachel, because I know you went through a transition and it wasn't that you disliked your host agency. It was just not meeting all of your needs, both like after you'd spent some time and then financially.
Yeah. Yeah. That's it.
Yeah. So I think it's really special that is the piece of advice. I mean, we talk about hosts a lot, but at the end of the day, like a host needs to be something that that you get to decide what it is, not them. Like they get to decide what their business model is. And then you get to decide if it fits what you're doing in your business right now. It's just like any other position. Like it's like choosing any other job. Like people leave companies all the time when they're not meeting their needs, unless you're, contracted with the military. Not the same.
Right. But then you don't have to stay. You can eventually get out.
You can eventually make the decision to leave. Yeah. And I think outside of the actual effort of just transitioning, which can take some time, you guys, like it's definitely not easy, quote unquote, but I have never spoken to a travel agent in the last 3 years who has regretted changing their host company. Yeah. Like I've never had a conversation with somebody that's like, I wish I could go back. Now, they may have chosen another shitty host company by accident and they're in a situation where they have to leave again, but it's not like they're looking backwards thinking, I could be there now. It's like, no, they're only moving forward. So I think it's worth making that change if it doesn't fit.
And I think the big theme is like you said, like what is it that works for you? All of these things, all of my advice has to do with like the travel agent themselves and nothing else. Like, what is it that makes you happy? How can you get control over you and what serves you? Because like, I really believe that like when you are happy, just like what they say about like being a mom, when moms are happy, their kids are happy. When travel agents are happy, their clients are happy. Like, and that doesn't mean happy all the time. It just means like has systems and things in place that bring peace and joy and happiness.
For sure. And this is supposed to be a fun job. Like it really is. And the pros should far outweigh the cons on the day-to-day. And if it doesn't, and you're listening and you're just like, I don't feel that way. I don't feel happy. I'm exhausted. I'm burnt out. Like something has to change and it has to be you changing it. Like your host company's never going to change their spots. Your clients that are driving you nuts and being rude to you are never going to change unless you start to make those decisions to change.
Yep, that's right.
That's a lot. That is a lot, but it's definitely really good advice. And I really also like when you're selling something you absolutely are into and passionate about, it doesn't feel like sales. It feels like education. It feels like sharing. And so that's the reason it becomes more fun.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah,
all those things kind of work together. So I love this advice. Thank you so much. But now we have to do the unpopular opinion. This is one of my favorite parts of my show.
Okay.
What is your TA unpopular opinion?
I don't think that everything I sell needs to make me money.
Okay. What does that mean?
So I would rather book, I do a lot of FIT, but I would rather book a client on a tour or a transfer. I mean, obviously I'm not like not making money. Let's be clear, right? Like I'm not saying work for free.
And do you charge fees?
I do charge a fee.
Okay, good. Okay.
Yes. But I would rather book a transfer for a client and not make a single penny, but have the peace of mind that the driver is going to show up and is going to be there and they're going to communicate and they're going to be friendly and take care of my clients.
100%.
I would do that every day of the week, especially when you're thinking about things like, or tickets. I would rather just like book your tickets direct sometimes and save the hassle for all of us and not make $20.
Right.
That's okay.
It is okay. I really like this tip too because you charge a fee. So if you're charging an appropriate fee, it doesn't matter what the commission is on some of these different components are, which actually give you more access to more options for your clients because you're not always thinking about the commission.
Yeah.
And I think it's a really great way to support people who also cannot afford to pay travel advisors commission because that does exist in some of these areas that we're selling. Like, it's like we want to support the person that actually provides this service. But if he charges any more just to give you $20, it's not going to work out for him in the long run.
Right.
Yeah. So I love that. And I think you might be surprised. There are a lot of agents out there doing that. And I do feel like it is an FIT thing for sure. Like there is an appreciation for that. And if you don't know what FIT is, it's fully independent travel. So it's just that idea that you can quote unquote piecemeal something together a little bit and get them exactly what they want. But in doing that, charging a fee is key. Because you are still managing all of it. And yes, the client should have to pay for that. They should have to pay for that connection with that person. And they should have to pay for that to get a little bit better, like quote unquote deal and, things like that to also then guarantee no issues.
I know we're at the end, but I'm going to share this story.
No, let's do it. I love it.
I had clients she is a teacher at my kid's last school and she reached out and she said, hey, we want to go to Greece. We want to go to Italy. They're a family of 5, grossly underestimated what their trip was going to cost.
Oh, no. And so we're supposed to know a little bit.
Right. So like when we had the consult call, I was like, I think it's going to be about like $20,000 to $25,000 for the trip.
It sounds like a lot.
Right. That they're a family of 5. Yep. And so they were like, yeah, that sounds great. So then I went to my first and I was like, oh, I want to find a supplier that can do Italy and Greece, right? Because if I'm going to use a supplier, I might as well do one that does.
Yeah.
Marcie, my first quote came back and she was like, I can't do that for less than $40,000. And I was like,
oh, gee, that is a lot different than the quote or the expectation that you set. Yeah.
Whoopsie. And that didn't even include air.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I know.
And so I was like,
I've had those quotes come by and I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah. So I ended up and I went to like a couple different places, like fine. I'm like, because I'm just not as familiar with Greece as I am with Italy. And I'm like, I'll just do the Italy piece and I'll find a supplier with Greece. Still no. Everything was so out of budget. So I ended up doing a full FIT. And at the end, I was like, really should have charged them more. Should have charged a higher planning fee. But that was my mistake, right? Like and it was fine.
And this is how you live and learn. I mean, you've only been a travel advisor for 3 years. And while you have a lot of experience in terms of travel, it doesn't always match up with the mistakes we make because they're so dynamic. And it's not to say you're never going to make a mistake. Like I actually am in a very similar situation where I gave her a range and then I went to my supplier who I love, and they're very high DMC. And I knew they were going to be higher, but she was like, oh no, I probably need another 10K. And I was like, girl, no, now I'm not going to be able to hire you because I already told her 30 grand. Like I'm not going back for 10,000 more, but I did actually. And she said it was fine. So the other option is always to go back and be like, this is where I'm at with this to get you exactly what you want. And I think just over the years, I have more confidence doing that. If I do screw it up, I don't beat myself up anymore. I'm just like, I either have to have a really honest conversation or I have to pivot and figure out another option where we can get everything within the original budget, which can take a lot longer and mean less money and all those things, but it's always worth it to fulfill the needs for the client.
And like, I feel good about this trip, right? Like it was a lot more work and a lot more time. So my per dollar, or per hour rate was a lot less, but it's fine. I feel really good about their trip and I know that they're going to have a great time.
We're going to have an awesome time. And that's all that matters for all the referrals and all the things and just taking care of them. So, well, Rachel, I have loved our conversation. I'm so glad you could come on today, and especially considering you are leaving tomorrow. So I really appreciate your time today, and I'm super pumped for everybody to listen to this and just take away those awesome nuggets that you shared with us. I really hope you had fun too. And
I loved it. Thank you so much for having me, really.
That's a wrap on today's episode, friend. Thanks for hanging out with me again on the No BS Travel Advisor podcast. I hope you're leaving this episode feeling fired up, inspired, and ready to take back control of your business. And let's be honest, your fucking life. If today's episode hit home, do me a favor and share it with your fellow travel advisors who need to hear this. And don't forget to leave a review. Your support means the world and helps me reach more badass advisors like you. And hey, if you've got a story to share or some no BS advice of your own, you've taken a course or two of mine, maybe you've been a coaching client, I want to hear from you. Head to my website to apply to be a guest. I'd love to feature you on an upcoming episode. Until then, you fucking got this. Keep being bold, keep being unapologetic, and keep building the business you fucking deserve. This is Marcie Muensterman signing off with zero fluff and a whole lot of heart.